Remix. 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 Remix.
Oh, yeah. Welcome out. This is no other than the Remix Morning Show. I go by the name of the Egg Doctor in case you didn't know, and this is Black Liberation Media. So, what I need y'all to do is tell everybody it is on right here, right now. It is that boom bap breakfast you've been waiting for. Now, I can't do this by myself, so let me bring in no other than Erica Kane.
Yeah.
That's it, y'all. That's all we need. Let's go.
That's how we kicking off the week.
I got my lieutenant of news. Come with it. You know what I'm saying? But
How are you, Air Doctor?
I'm pretty good. I'm ready for the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm just getting everything ready, and I'm getting ready for the show at 11 o'clock. Me and Kim, classical breakdown. So make sure y'all come back for that. We're going to talk about 1996. What's a good year for you, Ricky? What's a good year you can
That was a
remember?
good year. 95, 96, 97. 97
Okay.
in New York was a great year.
Oh, yeah? Why is
Yeah.
that? I see your eyes
I
light
don't want
up.
to say nothing about bad. I want to praise Bad Boy Too Tough now in hindsight. But that was Bad Boy. That was the Rockefeller years. I think
Yes.
they had the Bad Boy had the concert because I remember I went. That's when Kim had the bed. She had the rotating bed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
That was
Yeah.
my first hip hop concert.
What?
Before I used to just go see them at the Apollo. My cousin worked at the Apollo, so I would just go see the acts singularly. But my first concert was the Bad Boy one.
Nice. Oh my goodness. That was the last good Freaknik down here, I remember, in Atlanta. And I was I think I was in my junior, sophomore year in college. Oh my goodness. Parties. We used to on parties. We had so much going on. It was great. I loved it.
When did Hardcore come out? That came out in 97 or 96?
Let's see. Speaking of Kim, let's see if Kim Brown knows when Hardcore came out.
Yes, that is correct. 1996.
1990 and 6?
And 6. I'm middle aged. I have to say these things like that now. 1996. Yes.
Do you say the Facebooks also?
The Twitters, the TikToks. Absolutely. Yes. Listen, I'm leaning into this middle old age. I'm all here for it.
I was thinking we should change the show from classical breakdown to auntie and uncle. That'd be pretty hard.
Your weed smoking, cussing auntie and uncle. play the hits. Yes.
Exactly.
I'm here for it. But Ricky, you was on. You was in Brooklyn. Of course, you was on.
Yeah.
And you was 10. I'm sure your
This
parents
is
were
out,
thrilled.
this is out.
Wow.
Yeah, he asked me what was the good years. I said 95, 96, 97 was a good consecutive 3 years of great music, especially in New York. Like that was really a time to be there. I remember Hardcore came out because Crush on You, I think the single Crush on You came out in 97.
I believe so.
Yeah, because that was like the hot, that was the big thing. Like that was because I lived in Brownsville, but I went to elementary school in Crown Heights. I went to 161. So it was a couple of us that took the train by ourselves. So we knew that album back to front. Because we listened to it the whole time. So we on the 2 rapping the whole album. When the parents can't hear you. Yeah, when your parents can't hear you.
Did you switch up?
Scared of a dick.
Did you switch up the wig colors like Kim?
Only in my latter years.
Okay.
Only in my latter years. I have done. I'm actually thinking about we might do a little summer, a little fall weed. Tidies up.
Who was in charge? Was that Misa Hilton Brim who styled Kim in the Crush on You video?
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. My big year is 99 though. 99 was a great year for me. I'm talking about I graduated from college. I opened up my pizza shop, and throwing parties. That was my life. Oof, my goodness.
99
I didn't
also
sleep.
a good year. That was my first year in Philly, and I enjoyed it a lot. And that was when Things Fall Apart. The Roots released their album in 99.
Mm.
Jill Words and Sounds Volume 1 came out in 99. Like I felt like Philly gave me a soundtrack to be there. It was dope. Good year, 99. But 96, that's the year I graduated. So I'm looking forward to doing that today on Classical Breakdown.
Yes. What you got going on this weekend? Anybody got anything special?
Living,
Yeah,
my
a
brother.
lot
I
of
already
things.
know. Go ahead,
A
Erica.
lot of things. Today is my son's welcome back. Things I gotta go to the school today. He has a new
Okay.
principal.
What
I'm
grade is he
excited
starting?
about it.
If you
Fourth.
Whoa,
He's
big
gonna be going to
boy.
fifth grade. Yeah. I'm not that excited about having a new principal, but I'll go meet him. We love Miss Ahern. Shout out to Miss Ahern. We miss you. But yeah, so I have that, and then later this evening we're gonna go support the George Washington University students. They have been sanctioned. The arrest happened at the end of the encampments. Nobody has been sent to jail as far as I've known, but the actual organizations like Palestinian Youth Movement, Jewish Voices for Peace, a lot of the students groups like Black Resilience that are on George Washington University's campus have been sanctioned. So they have been suspended from any activities. They cannot no longer be affiliated with the school. They will not get any funding. And that's just for this semester and partial of next. Black Resilience only got a partial sanction. So they didn't get, the heavy-handedness that PYM and Jewish Voices for Peace did, but they also got affected. So we're going to be out there today at 6, supporting them, calling for demanding the end of the sanctions and allowing the students to participate freely on campus once again. Tomorrow is HBCU's Complicity and Imperialism with Black Underground. So that's our final summer school, part 3. And then Saturday is the DC Town Hall at Plymouth Church. So that is going to be really exciting. There's their first town hall. So come out to Nomo tomorrow if you're in Baltimore at 709 North Howard to come hear us talk about HBCUs and the bullshit that they're up to. And then come to Plymouth Church in DC on Saturday and come see BAP DC host their first town hall talking about internationalism and DC's role, being a DC resident, what your role is in that.
Boy, man, just make sure you hydrate this weekend. I know you're gonna be busy, so right around it and hydrate and make sure you eat a good meal. I don't gotta tell a woman to eat, but eat a good meal also.
Is that a thing?
That's one thing women know. I don't never have to tell a woman to eat. Hey, that's one thing they know how to do. Good Lord. Teach you out of house and home. Yo, speaking of, Erica Brown will be here tomorrow in Atlanta. So me and Kamal are gonna take her out to guess what?
Beautiful.
Wasn't that nice?
To eat. Yeah. So that'll be cool. And then I'll be DJing at a zoo Saturday. So yeah.
Lucky. So you at the Atlanta Zoo? I don't know
Yeah,
how many zoos there
Atlanta
are.
Zoo. Yeah, a little corporate gig.
Okay, little corporate joint. Sound like a joint. Pay all right. They probably already paid you, huh? I'm all in your business. I found like Kamal now. My bad. How much you making, son? How much they paying you?
What you saying? All right, so
Oh, I don't really. You ain't got to tell me. I'm faking like I'm Kamal here. I'm sorry.
nah, it's all good. It's all good.
Kamal love the pocket watch.
It's
That's his
two.
favorite
It's
shit.
two an hour.
Okay, look at you. Look at that. You better come through, skilled professional
I
out
gotta
here.
eat. I got a son in college. He
I
gotta
know
eat.
that's right. Even if you didn't, you still owe. Or you still are owed, I
It's
should
the
say.
reparations. Shit.
No, that's not. No. You're providing a service in exchange to be compensated. That is not reparations, sir.
No, you
Reparations
right.
if they paid you to
I
stay
need-
home, my nigga.
Hey,
Like,
there you go. You right about that. Shit. All right. Well, I don't know what else we got going on. I ain't got no question for y'all this morning.
damn.
I
I
was
don't know what to make of that.
I did ask y'all a question. What was y'all best year? That's right. Damn, I
You
did.
said best year. Oh, I thought we
Yeah.
were talking about years.
No, what was
Oh,
one
the
of
best year was 87 when I was 9. That was a great year.
9?
87 was a fan. Yes, I loved being 9.
You actually remember being 9?
Do I?
I do.
I remember. All days pre-menstruation are to be celebrated. Shorty. Like they are memorialized in my memory. Like, and guess what? I hope I'm headed in that direction real soon. Like, let me be free from this menstration. God help me.
I don't see you sweating like Jackie yet, so I don't
Not
know.
yet, shorty, but I'm telling y'all, I would love to get compliments. Can I get some compliments for things I do well? Like, Kim, you tweezed your beard really nice today. I don't see no hairs on your chin. Thank you you so much for noticing. You know what I'm saying? Can I get props for good tweezing?
Oh my God.
Kim, you waxed your mustache, fantastic. Thank you for noticing. Appreciate it.
When that menstruation came, did I say it right?
Yes.
When that came, were you in school? Either one of y'all? Did it happen like in public or was it at home?
No, thank God.
I remember I had to run and get my daughter. It happened here at home, and I had to run and get my daughter some pads from the CVS.
You had to run.
Well, I mean, I was like, what's going on? I'll go get him. I'll be right back.
He went and got the first aid kit. Is she hemorrhaging?
And I try not to be corny. I was like, yo, this is a celebration. You're able to give birth life now. So, it's a celebration. So, but how did it happen for y'all? It was school or at home? You said at home, Ricky?
Yeah, but nobody calls it a celebration. In fact,
I bet they did.
It wasn't a big to do in my household. It was like, oh, okay, go to school.
Put this in and go to school. Pat you on your back. Have a great day.
Even to this day, I don't get away with it. So it's just menstruals are not a big deal.
Oh damn! You can't even use it. Like you know what time it is right now.
Wash those dishes, please. When you get up from passed out from the cramps, make sure that you vacuum.
Oh, wow. Ouch.
You can still labor. You can still menstruate and labor. Women have been doing it for millions of years.
I had to put my son on because he stays with his mom, his sister, and his grandma. But like, bruh, some time of a month, you're gonna have to deal with it. You can come over to my house if you want, but yeah.
You give him a refuge.
Hey, I give him a refuge because it's a lot. All right, so I guess we got some news and stuff to get to. We are rocking out. This is what day is it? The 22nd of August. It is still Black August. Do not forget. And make sure y'all tell a friend to tell a friend that Kamal Franklin is in the building. Hey!
What up? Ain't y'all excited to see me?
Very.
You look excited. The other person on the screen. Kind of like... You know what I'm saying? We spending a lot of time together, Erica.
I know. I just saw you.
I know. We organizing together. Nice. We not literally in the streets together, but we like in them streets together. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very exciting dude. People like to see me.
You're right about that. Yes.
Thank you. I don't usually get the muted expression when I'm not pop up. You know what I'm saying?
There we go. There we go.
A little laughter.
Yeah. Yes. It took a while to get Ricky out of her shell. Didn't it come out like for a minute?
I feel like she's still, but she in the chat though.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying? They be coming hot and heavy.
Whatever.
Hot and heavy.
But to LJ, Ricky, and Renee Johnston's credit, you know what I'm saying? They took it out the chat and cut them cameras on and brought it to the folks. Say, I could say it here and there.
Some of it's against our will, but yes, surely. Some people are being held hostage on the platform, but that's cool.
Who is that? Who
do we need to set free? Who needs liberation?
No,
Black
I'm not
liberation.
even gonna ask. I'm not even gonna
nobody
ask.
needs liberation. Everybody is fine just to where they are.
No,
everybody's happy on this channel and platform.
I don't say nothing.
Ecstatically happy. Ecstatic.
Close. Smile at the camera.
Are we doing transparency? We're not doing transparency.
No, remember we stopped with the transparency.
We
could all handle it. We can't all handle it.
We voted against that.
Don't ever ask the vent.
No
transparency.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh
Please don't.
yeah. No.
Oh my
venting.
goodness. All right, so it's time to get to the news. The kids
Whoa,
are
whoa,
at
whoa,
school.
whoa! I just got here.
Yeah, you're right.
I did the whole morning, chatted up.
Yeah, what
everybody-
was your best year you can remember in your life?
my best year? 2009, son, when I got married.
Oh, that was cute.
Wow. Where is she? She's around?
Yeah, she listening up here.
I know, I figured, I assume so.
But he said it with no hesitation. Like there was
Of
no
course.
he wasn't trying to contrive of an answer. He said it right off the top. Good for you, Kamal.
I know, I
Shout
know.
out to you guys.
Good trained Negro, boy, I tell you.
Hey. Look at him. Look at the results. I can only judge an artiste by their results. Shout out to Eget. You know what I'm
true.
saying? You got your man looking good, sounding good out here. That's a tough task, I'm sure. But
Don't you got that picture, Ear Doctor, of you and again at the thing?
Yeah, I do. I don't
Put
know.
that
It's
up. Let
on my
everybody see.
phone. I'll find it. On
Find
the
it.
break.
Find it for a break, son.
I do that. Get was out here partying up with Dead Prez. I was like, look at her out here representing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she
Left me
knows-
with the kids. Left me with
Hey, she better hip hop head than you. All
out
right,
to
so
Wah, wah.
I know. Hey, I got one more question before we get to the news, y'all. How many times are they gonna drag Stevie Wonder out to sing?
listen, so I've been doing I started a segment talking about don't coon for Cop Mala, and I want to talk about and highlight Black celebrities that are cooning for Cop Mala. Stevie has received an exemption. There will be no, I can't. I won't. I will. I
No
won't.
slandering of the Stevie.
No,
Wonder.
No, you can't.
And Patti LaBelle can get it.
I don't know these boomers though. I kind of got to give the
Get it.
boomers a bit of a pass. What they
She
live
said, you are
through.
my friend, Kim. You are my friend. Why she do that?
Oh,
Yeah,
Wait a minute. Patty performed?
yes, Patty.
I'm sure.
On Tuesday.
Nah. Damn, she throw her shoe at
Patty
somebody?
performed, Common performed, John Legend performed last night, with
Yeah,
Stevie
I
performed
saw
last night. Lil Jon had a little entryway to bring in Georgia.
There
It's
was
a
a
lot.
moment when I thought John Legend was going to be. Nobody hit me with a shoe. I thought he was going to be close to the next Stevie Wonder. I really did at one point.
Yeah.
I really did.
In what way?
I just thought, like, he could play the musicianship, the
Mhm.
voice. That first album, I thought I really liked his first
album
first
was
album that
dope.
popped.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I just thought there was going to be more of that, and then it just everything
he
went.
jams though. He does. John Legend got some jams.
He got some.
But the only ones I like are from that first album. Everything else for me was like off a cliff.
Easy though.
Even that second that heaven
Alicia
only
Keys.
knows.
You don't get
Heaven
that from
only
Alicia
knows.
I only want to hear him do holla 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 and green light.
Holla, holla, holla. Yo,
Holla, holla.
yeah. But I mean,
did, but now
like
I hate him.
Stevie been on like every president.
See, that's part of Stevie's role
But
as an
I don't
elder
know if it's
statesman.
against his will, because I don't, I just feel like they just making Stevie do these things. I don't know how much of a say Stevie has in these. Nobody has ever asked Stevie directly.
Are you saying because
He
he's
doesn't give
blind?
interviews when you think about it. Stevie
Right.
doesn't.
So-
I don't see too many interviews from Stevie Wonder.
Are you
You're
saying
right.
Stevie is being held hostage?
I don't know. It seems to be a thing these days. But last I've heard from Stevie directly out his mouth is that man was going to Ghana. He's still here.
Oh, that's true. He
I
did
think
get
he
the
go back
dual
and forth.
citizenship.
Because they saw Stevie Wonder down Iverson Mall getting some snickerdoodles. Apparently, his wife is a local to this area, and it was even a little news story. Guess who showed up at Iverson Mall of all
That's
places?
I'm like of all the malls.
Of all places, Stevie Wonder showed up to get these, very famous cookies. So Stevie kind of has some proximity to the DC area, which is interesting. But I'm sorry, y'all. Some boomers, you just got to give them passes.
Not Patty though.
If they ever clone somebody, I'm cool with them cloning Stevie. Like keep it.
Stevie is
around.
74 years old. Did I know that?
Stevie,
Yeah.
that sounds right. Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shit.
And the problem is when Stevie goes up to yonder, there's nobody, well, very few, I won't say nobody, but not that many people qualified to memorialize or commemorate him. Because think about
They all
it.
dead too. They all
Mhm.
dead.
Exactly. Stevie was he performed for
He's the last one.
MJ. He performed for all these folks. And it's like, well, who's going to be the great person to come out
Mm-mm.
and do
Peebo
it?
Bryson.
Nigga, bye.
Is Peebo still alive?
Where did Peebo come from?
Peebo
relaxing people.
I know who's going to try.
Who?
I feel like Lionel Richie is going to try.
Oh yeah.
But I would hate
I
that.
can see that. Lionel got some.
There's a point. There's also a
Richie.
cutoff. He had a better career, but there's a point of cutoff when he did that Ballerina Girl. After it was like Ballerina Girl, and then Ballerina Girl was the first of many trash songs. That it just the whole thing that he was doing that he kept getting away with, which I liked also. What's the one? Actually, Hello. It's a terrible song, but I love it. It sticks in my head.
It's beautiful. And what about?
Hello,
Remember it.
a beautiful song.
Damn, what's the other one he got?
You said it's not a beautiful song.
No, it is. The video
It
is
is.
a little, there's questions
It's
around.
with the
Yes.
He could do. You are the sun. You are
Yeah.
the rain.
He kept trying to do
Dun.
those songs over and over again. Not that one,
Yeah.
but the Hello kind of version songs. And then he
Yeah.
tried this Ballerina Girl shit, and it just was like, this is terrible. B.
That dancing on
Yeah,
the
He had a
video
hit
was whack
in the
too.
2000s, though. He had some.
No, he had a long. Yeah, he's not. I'm not saying he's John Legend. He's an accomplished songwriter, musician, and everything. But I'm just saying he hit a hard wall with trying to do the same ass song
The 80s.
over and over again.
But why did he do it? Because that Jim Joints kept going number one on
Yeah.
the pop. This is when
Yeah.
Lionel
Mhm.
had successfully crossed over. He was
Outrageous.
firmly easy listening adult contemporary. You know what I'm saying? Out of the R&B realm into the white folks realm.
Mhm.
Now he out here looking like a black Kendall. Looking
Yeah, I don't know
crazy.
what's going on with that. His face was never,
Yeah,
Be easy now.
it's bad. I gotta be easy.
Easy like Sunday morning.
Morning.
Oh. Easy like that plastic surgeon. That's just,
Yeah, he had surgery. Yeah,
oh shit.
yeah.
All right.
Botox, gentlemen. Y'all gonna Botox it up after
Never.
a certain point?
You know me, I don't do none of that shit. No needles.
It's
no
not
nothing.
even the Botox though. It's the fillers that. So I have a little rabbit hole thing that I've gone
Okay.
down, but I have
Here we
studied
go.
these
Let's go.
surgeries.
You studied the surgery.
Well, I have questions.
From house.
Well, not even. Well,
Housewives.
it initiated from there because I need to know if they're like, is the inability to cry because of the Botox or because they're full of shit? Like, I'm not sure.
Mm.
What's the shit where they actually break your face and they have to like reset it? It's called a maximally something.
Yeah.
Where they reset your, like John Legend had that shit done, by the way.
What?
Like, it looks pretty odd.
And he has
If you look at-
fillers.
Yeah, buddy.
And
His
the
is
thing
good
with
though.
Fillers is they spread like they don't dissipate, so they just spread out. So everybody's face just gets wider and wider, and kind of flatter. And then you go back to get more fillers because now your face is flat. So that's when they get puffier and puffier and puffier, and wider and wider and wider.
Is it like crack on the first one you do it? People think you really look good, and then you just keep going back. Like, why do you do it in the first place? Like, what is it supposed to solve?
But like there's like
Youth.
the fillers, like there's like some spots in your face that might be flatter than others. You can make your face fuller. But then there's doctors who don't be like, you know what, that's enough. I think you're good, right? Because if you keep going back, doctors could just say, you know what, you actually don't need it, but they don't say that. And there's people again, once it just like it doesn't dissipate, you have to actually get fillers removed, taken out. You have to burn them out.
Oh snap.
Yeah.
Is the getting of the fillers and the Botox, is it now sort of like a signifier of wealth? By accident, I landed on one of those reality shows, Love and Hip Hop. I have no idea. I don't even know who the fuck these people were. But the one girl was like, yeah, you just mad because you yeah, my face is tight, but you mad because you broke because you can't afford to get fillers. I'm like, is that the flex? Is that the flex?
Yeah.
No, because I have a friend who she's a teacher. She gets fillers. She doesn't do it to that extent, but she does get fillers. Like there's a way to do it. There's people who get work done all the time and you really don't know because they do subtle work. They do every couple months. And there's people who, but I say that to say it's very accessible now. Before Botox and all that was in the tens of thousands. Now anybody can really just go get Botox and you can just go get fillers now.
And would you say when you look at somebody, let's say the first 1 or 2 times after, do people say like, oh, that looks, you do look better, or you do, oh, I can see why you did that, or is it right away you kind of look like there's something artificial about your face now?
No, I think it's subtle at first, and then when you keep doing it, it's like, because you're not sure what is different here. Something's going on, but yeah. Like what's her name? Ari, the Dawn, Ari Fletcher. She gets fillers. Or Black China took all her stuff out. Now you remember there was a point in time Black China's face was kind of squaring off. Yeah. Right on the sides there. That's the filler because it spreads outward.
Damn. Yeah, that don't make no sense.
No, thank you.
I'm
I'll
going
just be old and wrinkled. That's okay.
Mhm.
I just wrinkle naturally.
Damn.
John Legend looks like me. He don't look. He look like Kamal.
Oh.
No, not that tight face.
Chat, y'all spicy today.
You
Now,
look more like John Novice, not Legend. You kidding me? Anyway, let's go ahead and get to it right here. I'm disgusted. That's nasty. But I guess people listen. Let me not say that. Some people need to do it. I guess.
Need.
Yeah. Exactly.
Desire to.
But to your son.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to your son. You know what I'm saying? Back to school, back to all the students out there going to school, college, everything. It's time to get it. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and take our first break right here on no other than the Remix Morning Show.
pass the Pepsi. Pass the Pepsi.
Yeah. Big up everybody tuning in. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Go to patreon.com, become a member over there, get footage that's rare. And also at the bottom of the screen, in case you haven't seen, please go to donate on our website, blackliberationmedia.org, blkliberationmedia.org, as you can see at the bottom of the screen. Would definitely appreciate that very much so. All right, boom. So, as y'all know, I did a concert last weekend, and I had some different people performing. And I ran into this brother that performs. His name is Alaz. And when I tell you that the brother can spit, the brother has a great stage performance, and all that, he does. So I was like, yo, man, you got something I can show the people? He said, do I? So he gave me this video called Chosen. So check it out with me right here on the Remix Morning Show. Chosen, yo. Alaz.
Yeah, a lot of people in the world, some with it, some losing. Some people watching movies, other people moving. Life ain't about what you want, it's what you choosing. I don't want for nothing, homie, I'm choosing. In the world, some with it, some losing. Some people watching movies, other people moving. Life ain't about what you want, it's what you choosing. I don't want for nothing, homie, I'm choosing. Sound like a South Dallas sunset. Steady the flapper birds, wings a fly subject. My brother talking jet life, I chose to live it. Looking down at a sky that they told me was the limit. Okay, that's what I said, now my altitude is double. Look up, I'm in the stars, watch my shuttle from the Hubble. But never a celebrity, no fans, I got family. Praise belongs to God, cause conceit causing casualties. How you feeling? Is you chilling? No, I'm focused. Working hard to make it happen, no hocus pocus. Don't believe in magic, but I do believe in motion. Manifesting my mindset, cause it's more than a notion. My thoughts be seeds that I plant, killing weeds. Run my plots for progression from nature. I learned the lesson. The higher I grow, the deeper my roots. Got to be for me to stand. Dropping out is like fruit. People in the world, some with it, some lose. Some people watch.
That is Alaz, A-L-A-Z, Chosen. Go check that brother out. He got some more music. And support that dude right there. Great brother. Very respectful and very hip-hop. So with that said, let's go ahead and get back to the crew right here. You know how we do on the Remix Morning Show. Let's go. Yeah.
I'm slightly undecided.
Okay. That's better than throwing trash at him.
No, I didn't think it was. I liked it more played. I like that. At first, that video, but yeah.
Is he an independent artist, or is he like with because he said Jet Life? I was thinking, is he down with like Currency and all that?
No, he's independent. Yeah, independent. Brother really had a great stage, so no rhyming over vocals and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And projecting. He was miles ahead. That's what I like to see somebody that's an artist that really is grinding on a trade. So big up to that brother.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's it. I guess I'll see y'all next break. Got a lot of stuff to talk about, so get to it. Peace.
Thanks, you doctor. Hey, gang. Look at this fire air combo. I dig it. Kamal's like, air who?
I didn't know which one was air. Is that Gemini? Gemini's the air
It's you,
sign?
That is
yes.
correct.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. What sign does he get? How did y'all get together?
She's September. Her birthday's in September. No, her birthday's in November.
Wow.
Early November.
Wow.
You sure?
Early November.
Scorpio.
Yeah, I am now. It snapped back. Early November.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What would that make her?
Scorpio.
Scorpio.
Oh, that sounds about right. Yeah.
You who know nothing
Scorpios
about
in
the
the
signs.
building.
Mhm.
I just meant the actual that when you get stung by something,
Hey.
over and over again, stung. that part. I meant that translates.
Yeah, you supposed to shape up after that first sting, shorty.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
keep getting stung, that's on you. That's not on.
Scorpio is known for turning people out.
A
Whoa.
word?
Okay. Is that accurate, Kamau? Were you turned out?
I was turned out before.
Oh.
Yeah, I was turned out. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Congratulations. All
What
right.
is the air sign supposed to do? What are we supposed to do?
Well, in this particular combination, air feeds fire, right? So
Mhm.
there's a lot of personality compatibility betwixt air and fire.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Anywho, I think it's time for us to shimmy and two-step into some news today. Let's go. Good morning, everybody. Ooh, it is the Remix Morning Show here on Black Liberation Media on this 22nd day of Black August. We'd like to welcome everybody to the program and to the channel. If you have not already subscribed to Black Liberation Media, do it now. And if you've not signed up to be a sustaining supporter of Black Liberation Media, consider going to blkliberationmedia.org. And we take credit cards now. Kamau, we done stepped our game up out here. We taking cards. You know what I'm saying? We taking let me shut up. I was gonna say other things, but whatever. We're accepting US dollars right now, and we appreciate everyone that has already sent some material support and those that are continuing to support us in the free ways, just by showing up here, by liking the video, by subscribing to the channel, by participating in our illustrious chat, those that come through and leave comments. All of that support is deeply appreciated, so keep that up. Please go on over to the Remix Morning Show YouTube channel and give us a subscription over there, please. I thought one of y'all said that we had 1,000 subscribers on that channel. That is not the case. I think Jared has 1,000 subscribers on his new channel, which is awesome. So we in competition. So go over there and like our shit too. So
Yeah, like it all. And even though Kim is right, there's 1,000 ways to support, but the best way to support is to give us a little change. I was looking, I took the time to look over into the money meter feeder. And it got a little low. It got a little low this week. Last week it was popping. This week got a little low. So I just, there's a whole 2 hours. Y'all here, y'all sitting there. Takes 5 seconds to pull out that credit card. And again, I like the monthly donations. I like the monthly ones. I like the recurring donations. So let's just think about that when we do that. Let's do the recurring. Once you can get that $10, that $15, that $20 a month, boom, then you don't even got to go back there. You don't got to check it no more. If it happens to go up to $35 and you don't know how that happened, don't you worry about that. That's all good. It's all good. So just put that card in there. Slip that card in the slot. You know what I'm saying? In the slot.
I love how New Yorkers announce they're going to rob you before they do, right? Like, I'm about to go in these pockets, right? Stop me. Have y'all ever been robbed? FYI, I'm making gross assumptions about growing up in New York City. Have y'all ever been robbed, or were y'all ever robbed?
No.
No. I got a couple. Let me see. I when I was a kid, somebody stole my umbrella and ran off with it.
Is that a robbery
raining.
though? Come out. Is that a robbery?
It was raining. I felt robbed. I was like 9 years old, and some 16-year-old stole my umbrella and ran off with it.
But did he strong arm you? He just took your shit. That's not.
He just took my shit. That's a robbery.
I
Ain't
guess.
that robbery? I never been that. No, I never had a gun at me. When I was 7, this was not a robbery. Also, this was just like neighborhood shit. Somebody put a thing in my throat.
A knife?
No, not a knife, a razor. But it was like kid shit in some ways. I mean, they were serious.
Like
Don't
the
get me
kind of
wrong.
razor you spit, or
What happened?
the razor that you spit, or like what kind of razor?
What kind of
Like
razor?
a razor that you put in the that you put in your thing that you shave with razor. Like
Oh,
a
okay.
razor.
Yeah. Spit
It was
on.
clearly sharp.
A
'cause it was
straight
just-
razor or the
Oh, she said
small
straight.
razor.
I didn't hear what she said. I didn't know what she was saying.
Let me tell you about a real robbery. All right, I got robbed down here in Atlanta. I was riding the ice cream truck in
Said,
the
fuck the news.
Wait a second. Hold on, Master P. You was in the ice cream truck and what?
yeah, I had an
Furlong
ice
and
cream
what?
truck, and this was about the time the levees broke. So a bunch of people from New Orleans was moving to Atlanta.
Oh wow. I don't
So
like
I was out there doing ice cream. Dude was like, "Yo, you got change for 100?" I was like, "Yeah, come on." So he came over, little young dude, teenager, came over, waited for all the kids to finish getting their ice cream, and then he pulled the 9 out and was like, "Yo, run your sh." And I was like, "You get it, all this change, you can get ice cream, whatever you want." I was like, you want some snacks? You can get whatever you want, my man. So I gave him the money and he jetted. So yeah, I got robbed and I went right back to selling ice cream. All right,
That is a
peace.
real robbery. That is.
Was this your? Come back up for a second.
What?
Was this your truck? You were renting a truck?
I
You were
was
working
I was
for
working at an ice cream company. So yeah, I was.
That's
I've
the
done
first
so
time I
many
heard this
things.
job.
Yeah,
Did you
know.
gave him the drugs too, or you kept that?
Nah,
Right.
I didn't have none
These
of
are the
them.
questions.
Hey,
Nah,
you know,
not at all. Not
yeah,
at all.
okay.
I'll
didn't
tell
give
you
it
some
to
more
him.
about some of my other stories. at work.
Robberies?
No,
How many
I
times
only
you been
got
robbed?
Just like, you was getting got all this time? is that-
robbed once. Robbed once. All right, later.
I'm sorry that happened to
Held
you.
up a few times. Robbed once.
Got numerous times.
Got it.
Thank you. But remixers, there's no robbery here. We are here to give you guys the news and content that you appreciate. So show us your appreciation. Give us some likes, some thumbs up, etc., and a cashmere sweater. Where shall we begin news-wise, guys?
I got Oprah up. I got Oprah. I'll give you a
Oh
little,
shit.
little Oprah,
All right.
just to start with.
Sure.
Come on, it's Joy. Like you said, I think she's talking about Joy, Ricky. I mean,
Joy.
I think that's what she's talking
Joy.
about.
I said they got Oprah. We are cooked, kids. Cooked. We are cooked.
Oprah
out
said,
here.
"Let us bring joy." All right, y'all ready? Bam.
We are Americans. Let us choose loyalty to the Constitution over loyalty to any individual. Because that's the best of America.
I got tears in the eye.
And let us choose optimism over cynicism, because that's the best of America.
They want the shit
Let
out
us
of me.
choose
So,
confusion
big
over
league.
retribution. Let us choose common sense over nonsense.
Just rhyming.
Because that's the best of America.
Hmm.
And let us choose the sweet promise of tomorrow
Ooh.
over the bitter return to yesterday.
Mm.
We won't go back.
Not with them billions of you
We
guys.
won't be set back,
Hmm.
pushed back, bullied back,
Knocked
kicked
back.
back. We're
Mhm.
not going back.
Don't y'all say nothing about Oprah.
Ozempic.
Not going back.
No, it's just when white women say.
We're not
When
going
white women say we're not going back.
So, let us choose. Let us choose truth.
Mm.
Let us choose honor. And let us choose joy.
There you go. Little
Weird.
Oprah, a little
It's not
joy.
looking good. It's not looking good. Oh man. I'm sorry. Oh man. And then they had Melonhead out there. Wes Moore got out there and made his national introduction to the country. I said, this nigga.
Did you
Jesus.
listen to him?
I
Of course
did.
not.
I know you didn't. But my question is, was that his Obama moment? Did he do it like Obama? Where like Obama made his speech, and then Obama's name kept popping up as a potential candidate because of his speech for the next 4 years. Was that did West have his Obama moment?
he had what I think would be as close to his Obama moment that he can have, right? Because he ain't Barack Hussein, right? Like but Barack, for whatever we think about Barack, he is exceptional at that, that oratory, whatever he does. Wes ain't got that, but he didn't stumble, he didn't fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? He was, still light-skinned and glowing and articulate and able to say that he served in Afghanistan. Applause, applause, applause. I'm like, oh, Jesus. Like, stop clapping for this fucking ghoulish warmonger shit. I'm over it. But I knew when the tragedy happened with the collapse of the Key Bridge, and unfortunately those 6 workers passed away, I said this is a bad event in itself. But now, unfortunately, this gives Wes Moore the opportunity to show his leadership. He was able to guide Maryland through the crisis of the bridge collapse. And I said, God damn it. And that's exactly what he got up there and did. I'm like, sir, what did you do exactly? Like, what did you do? Tell me what you did. Besides make some phone calls. And that's the other thing. He said, I got a call from the vice president after the bridge collapsed. And she said, Governor Moore, we're going to have your back. We're going to support you. And that's what leadership looks like. I said, nigga, she made a phone call. She picked up the phone and called. I just don't, I'm a little over it. But who was it? It was Wes Moore, Josh Shapiro. Who was the third person that spoke before? Tim Walz.
Oh, he was the big
Somebody,
speaker.
Matthew. They had or was that yesterday? They had the Kennedys. Was that the day before? With the Kennedys' grandchildren were there, and they had Carter's grandson spoke, and it's just all saying that Kamala's in the continuation of their legacies, which is
okay.
His grandson ran for governor out here and did not do well at all, and then he dropped out of politics. Yeah. He has all the makings of like the next white liberal governor or moderate liberal governor of Georgia, if it ever goes that route or whatever. So I'm sure he's going to go again. But Oprah is sealing the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Oprah is bringing out Black Joy. I mean, and she was put together. The wig was good.
You think the wig was good? I think it was a little overbumped.
Shady.
I think it was a little overbumped at the top. It was giving country, but I do think she looks great in purple. She always looks good in purple.
It does look nice in purple.
That's her color. I don't know about that wig though.
And she brought out Joy, the Joy theme that is rocking the house. So you don't got to say Black woman Joy. All you got to do now is do the shortness Joy, and everybody knows that. Everybody knows that's when you respond to Joy. And she's not she's not a bad speech maker, but she's not it's more as like it's the Oprah persona. You know what I mean? People, I never got it, of course, but I mean, considering that, she was the torch pass from the Phil Donahue to the Oprah, and she just took it to another level. And now she's here trying to pick presidents. So
apparently successfully. I mean, the Oprah bump is a legitimate thing, right? She came out and supported and campaigned for Obama. She did not campaign for Hillary Clinton, and I think at the last minute.
Oh, was the last minute?
No, she came out last minute for Biden. She came out last minute for Biden in 20, but I think she let Hillary. She was like, bitch, it won't be me.
I don't remember her campaigning for Hillary. I just think the whole DNC thing, I was reading somewhere where they were describing it as Orwellian, where George Orwell says like the people who control, the people, the present creates the past and the past creates the future, and the retelling of everything on that floor, like from not just the ceasefire, but the environmental stuff, right? They're saying, because I'm listening to, what's his name? Morning Joe. I listened to Joe Scarborough this morning say, because they're calling Kamala socialists and communists, so they're doing all that they can to say no, absolutely not. Would she be a socialist if she's doing this? And it's like, okay, so those things are not good things. But when they were talking about the U.S. has drilled more than any other year this last year, and I'm like, that's not good. Especially if you have people that's at the DNC saying that they are for environmental justice, and Biden's administration has done more for environmental justice than any other administration. And then when you look at where Walt is coming out of, he's coming out of those pipelines and drilling and all that controversy with the indigenous peoples. So it's a lot of misremembering or trying to make folks think of or see things a different way, even if you're living in it. Like we're living in the midst of a COVID surge, as they're saying that Trump mishandled COVID if it wasn't for Joe Biden. In the midst of a surge right now, they had Hakeem Jeffries spoke, the white man's dream. He spoke yesterday. You know, he came out with all his Brooklyn slang, calling Trump bro and all this other stuff. Like, you know, like he's a down-to-earth Brooklyn person. I told you he brought his DJ. He brought his own personal DJ to the DNC. So it's just a bunch of, it's very Orwellian and it's very mystifying, right? Because it's greatly produced. And if you didn't know any better, you would not know any better if you just watched that, because it is greatly produced. It is a production. And I don't think that people are seeing it any other way. And I think what's really disheartening, well, two things. They had delegates there that were there on behalf of Palestine, and they had their signs, and they were getting beat by people holding USA signs, which is like, how is this any different in the convention center, inside the convention center? Because they were trying to cover them with the USA signs, and when that wouldn't work, they were just beating that woman with the signs. So you have Black people holding up USA signs, assisting whites, beating up the pro-Palestinian delegate with the sign, so that she can't show the sign while Biden was speaking about ending the genocide. So you're not allowed to raise that at all at any point. Not as a delegate, not even as a delegate can you raise that, because now you're just getting hit by citizens, like regular voters, who are saying absolutely not, who don't know even who you are in your position. So I just think the whole thing has just been a big mind fuck. But I do not think that this has been a deciding factor for where this campaign is going. I think it's still very, very early. The numbers are very, very too close. And I think these tax cuts that they're talking about is really going to be the deciding factor, because I just see the report that there's 8,100 jobs that are missing from that jobs report where they said they filled in new jobs. There's 8,100 jobs that they cannot account for. So that number was a lie. All the new jobs that the administration said that they helped create. And then also the economy is just going down, down, down. I mean, we just had that the Wall Street thing. The stock market just crashed majorly in unforeseen ways in such a long time. But then I think with this new tax cut, I think they're trying to depict it that this joy that we're seeing is ushering in a new wave of voters for Kamala, but I do think it's the exact same people who are ready to vote for her. I don't think she shifted anyone in particular, especially people on the fence. And I do think that tax cut is going to be a major deciding factor.
Yeah, I'm in wait and see mode. Like I'm like, all the polls are showing her with a little bump. This convention supposedly, usually there's a convention bump. She got the bump from when she presented herself as the candidate, not of choice, but of, next in line, and y'all better shut up and get behind me. So I'm like, I don't know either. Like, because I remember thinking Hillary Clinton was a shoo-in based on all the polls, all the newspaper polls, up until the day of the election had Hillary comfortably winning the race. I remember looking at the New York Times like a couple of weeks in advance, a week in advance, a few days in advance. Hillary was their clear winner through their polling. And when, again, just even the spectacle of it, like watching that night when state after state after state went for Trump, I was like, well, how do they justify, like in terms of the media, how do they justify such bad polling numbers? You know what I mean? So yeah, Trump has a huge constituency, and this is the thing too. People don't want to act like he does. People want to act like he's some fringe character in America, but he's representing America. He's representing particularly white working class, poor, middle class white folks in droves, right? By a majority. He won the majority of white women. He won the majority of white men. He won, I think, almost in every social class that there is. So he has a base of people who are voting for him. Kamala's base is kind of make believe in that sense. It's like all this pageantry is needed to make her who she is, because no one has any idea about her policies, which is not to say they know about Trump's, but Trump fits into the mode of the Christian nationalist, or at least he's pumping their policies. And so they think they know what he's going to do. Really don't know what Kamala's going to do, to be honest, because no one knows anything about any policy that she really believes in, other than the small tidbits she puts out every now and then, but nothing coherent. That's not why all of a sudden she's getting all this increase in polling numbers. It's really the machine, again, that's making her who she is. And again, the DNC is a wonderful example of that spectacle, as Erica was saying, where it's all lights, lights, camera, action, and it's beautifully produced. And you're right, like I feel like I'm in another world when I watch it. Like I'm like, what's wrong with me, kind of thing. You got to snap out of it. It's like, what's wrong with me? People are happy. There's like thousands of them
crying
in love. So yeah.
I haven't looked at the electoral map. Like I don't know how things are projected. How shit is shaken up. But Trump doesn't need the majority of the popular vote, right? Because every Republican I think that's been elected since 2000 has lost the popular vote. It's all been electoral victories, and I think I don't think the states that Democrats have captured recently or have purpled recently are a guarantee for them. I'm not confident that Democrats are going to recapture Georgia. North Carolina is toss up. Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. These things are going to come down to the wire, and I think whiteness may prevail here because I still the optics of a Black woman I know is still off-putting to a lot of white folks, and especially conservatives in this country. So the racism could still, racism always prevails. This is America, but it could absolutely be obvious and plain that people will go to the polls and choose Trump over Kamala because she's Black. I think that's enough. So I don't know, but I'm interested. Like Trump, you guys keep hearing his little snide comments. He called her Comrade Kamala. I had to laugh. What else did he say? He brought up her father, the economist, the Marxist economist who teaches, I think, at Stanford. What's his name? Is his name Donald Harris? What's her daddy name?
Harris. It's Donald Harris.
And Trump was like, "Oh, look, her dad did a great job." I'm like, maybe he did a terrible job, actually. Like,
he wasn't even in her life like that. So he was one of those dads. But I have my own thing with okay. Got out. And I wanted to do
All right, I think it's time for a break.
Sorry, no, he's coming. No, he said he wants the whole world to know that he's hungry. Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break and come back with another story and a child that has some food in his stomach. So
right, he's 9. I'm sure he's eating everything, right? Like everything. He's going to be tall. Like
that's why they have to go back to school.
He said that's why they have to go back to school.
Yo, you gotta learn how to make some cereal. Pop-Tarts. That was the easiest thing.
I was like, Siri, he got a step ladder. He can reach the cereal and the milk.
My step ladder, kid 9 years old. He won't do that for himself.
What?
He won't. He's like this. Like,
yeah,
that's the bad. And I admit that's the bad training.
Bring him over here.
Teach a man to fish. He'll eat for life. You gotta teach him how to make cereal, my brother. Okay.
You said
come
make
out.
Cereal.
The boy don't want to make cereal, but the daughter, you showed her how to work the stove at 10, and then left the house.
She's a girl. She's a little
advanced. See, you messing up now.
She's advanced. He didn't say she's a girl, so she should know it. He said
she's advanced.
Oh, okay.
She is a girl.
I'm not
doing it the other way. If there's some genetic thing here, I'm saying the girls are more advanced.
Oh, they usually are.
Yeah.
But we can't coddle the boys. The boys have to learn how to feed themselves.
I coddled her too.
By my stove, we won't have a house.
He's a coddler, definitely.
And he'll be playing Ultimate Smash Brothers while cooking. Like that's the type of child I have. He can't do. Yeah, he doesn't even walk without the game. It's like
the game.
Yeah,
so the microwave. He put something in the microwave. Some popcorn.
It's too close to the stove.
I need to do a strict parenting class because y'all just letting these kids just run y'all, boy. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to a quick break. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Quick break right here on the Remix Morning Show. Telling me what I'm going to do. Ha!
Hey!
What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good, people? Welcome out. This is the Remix Morning Show. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor. Thank y'all for tuning in on this beautiful Thursday, August 22nd. Still Black August show, so make sure y'all go ahead and do some exercise and make sure y'all read a book. Make sure y'all do a little fast. Get your body right, get your mind right, get your spirit right. All right, with that said, make sure y'all tune in at 11 also as we come back and rock with me and Kim Brown for classical breakdown. And yeah, like we're gonna be doing 1996, so make sure y'all come back for that. Speaking of 1996, let me talk about a group that came out. So we talked about one hit wonders yesterday with Tony Terry. So guess what? Let's keep it going. Crucial Conflict. Yes, that is who we're talking about right now. You might know them for one song, which is Hey in the Barn. But actually, it was a group composed of some brothers that came out of Chicago. I thought it was Chicago. I thought they was from like somewhere Midwest where it was a bunch of hay in the barn, not Chicago. But you had Kilo, you had Wild Style, Cold Heart, and Never. Never knew their names, but you know, now we do. They came out with this joint Hey in 1996, but they first came out in 1993. Replaced a couple members and picked up a couple more, and then they signed to Universal and dropped this album. They had this song and Ride the Rodeo. Yes, we was not feeling that song. They also was in the movie Rhyme and Reason on the soundtrack, and the album featured appearances from Tear the Club Up, Do or Die, R. Kelly, couple of diss tracks towards Bone Thugs and Harmony. Yeah, so they had a little beef with them. So yeah, they did that. They group reunited in 2007 after 10 years after label conflicts, and they had their third solo album, Planet CrewCon. Yeah. So enough about them. They didn't do too much, but they actually had like 5 albums. So big up to the one hit wonders, Crucial Conflict. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and get back to it right here on the Remix Morning Show. Let's go.
Smoking on.
At the
Oh, Ear
Yeah,
Doctor.
exactly.
The disrespect. The
Huh?
disrespect.
Should it be called nearly a one-hit wonder or almost a
Yeah,
one-hit wonder?
I don't even know how it became a hit. I
didn't even know it was a hit. Where was it a hit at?
I was like, what the fuck kind of countries?
This is what people who have lived in the Eastern Standard Time Zone their entire life. This is how they talk.
Did I do it right?
The hegemonic time zone, Kim. The hegemonic time zone.
Oh, I'm sorry. The hegemonic, the one that's on the East Coast. This is how y'all talk. This is how y'all talk. Their doctor said they were from somewhere in the Midwest. Nigga, Chicago is all the Midwest. What are you saying? And they had another song called Scummy. You know, it's time to get it on. No doubt about we feeling scummy. Come on, man. And you disrespected Tony Terry yesterday as a one-hit wonder. Tony Terry had 3 joints. 3.
My
3.
bad.
What was the other 2?
Everlasting Love and she's fly and fresh again. But
Okay. All right.
whatever.
All right,
It's
then.
fine. It's fine. I didn't say they were.
Just because you know the songs and you obviously know every song
I know.
doesn't mean it's a hit.
It's because you was
Well,
at a radio
Everlasting Love was
station
a
and
hit.
had to play
Everlasting.
songs.
Everlasting Love was a hit. But y'all some up top haters, man.
You know what Ear Doctor said, Kim? He said Oklahoma forced you to play those songs when you was working at the radio station.
They did. She had to play. She had a playlist she had to go by. She know it.
He made you play it.
Shit. And when you call the people do or die, it's do or die. They straight out of the Chicago
Oh,
too.
do or die. You're right.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
do or die. Do you want to ride in the backseat of a patty? Toss it up and do or die.
POPIMP ology.
But oh my goodness, that was the worst song. I could not stand that Crucial Conflict song. I
I know,
never
'cause
played it. I've
didn't come
never
out the
played it.
tri-state. It didn't come out
ever.
the tri-state. You didn't understand it. It didn't come out,
Really?
come out of New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. You didn't know nothing about it. You said
It was like hillbilly rap.
It's called regionalized flows. Bone Thugs, also from the upper Midwest, from Cleveland, also had a different cadence, different rhyme style,
ain't like
different
them
rhyme
either.
pattern. I know, nigga, because you
Not
from
until they did
Jersey.
that song with Biggie. Not until they did that song with Biggie, right?
And that shit told you something. First of all, Bone Thugs is the only group to do songs with Biggie and Pac while they were still alive. So let's put that in context. So they
Okay.
must have been doing it that big that the two biggest rappers of the day said that we need to do collaborations with them.
from New
So
York. Yeah,
Yeah, that was just different.
the New York rappers put them on. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and
you
it was
are
just
way
that's how it
incorrect.
should work. That's how it
Wow.
should it
Woo.
should work.
Again, Eastern
That's how it
Standard
should
Time Zone. This is that Eastern Standard Time Zone type of way of looking at nationalized rap music. Sirs.
All right, I'm just
Hegemonic.
saying. All right.
I gotta work. I gotta
Did you buy their second, third, fourth album?
I didn't buy none of their albums.
say, I
That
didn't
doesn't
buy
mean
the
I didn't
first
like
one
the
either.
song.
I was trying to make a point there, Kamal.
That doesn't mean I didn't like I think now the Do or Die Pope Pimp. I did buy that cassette single. I sure did.
Cassettes.
I sure did because I had a cassette player in my car, so I had cassette
Didn't
singles.
you hate that time you had to replace everything when the CDs came out? You had to replace the wax, the whatever. You had to
Yeah.
replace everything when the CDs came out.
Now I got books of CDs just sitting there looking at me like, hey.
They're classy. You better hold on to them. Those
Are you supposed? I threw them all out.
Oh
I was like,
wow.
I can't. I tried. For a while, I put them on the computer,
Oh, it's too long.
but then that took But then your computer would break, and then you needed something else, and then something else would happen. So.
All right. Well, that's enough of that. I'll catch you on the next break because I know Erica Kane got some news.
Damn.
I do want to just say, I think I said 81,000. It's 818,000 jobs are missing in
Wait.
that child support.
Almost 1,818,000.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they
wow.
they inflated that number. They can't account for 818,000 jobs.
The Bureau of Labor Statistics numbers are so phony anyway because there's some foolery, some chicanery between corporations and the BLS that allows corporations to list jobs that they never have any intentions on filling, but they get to count them as a quote job created, right? Oh, look, we put up a posting for a job. That's a job create. Well, if you never intend on interviewing or hiring or filling that position, it's phony. It's not real.
And it's an extraction, right? It's an extraction of like some small numbers they get, and then they say, "Oh, this must be for whatever." It's not like a real, which is why they have to go back and make changes all the time because it's not a real statistical analysis of the new jobs created per se. It's just it's a bellwether figure. Like, oh, it looks like this is happening. Looks like that's happening. And maybe it's more true than not a lot of times. But the mere fact that after a year and they do a slightly deeper analysis, that they have to come back and go like, oh, remember all those times where we were telling you the economy was improving and it was like, record numbers of people employed. Well, now we have to tell you that wasn't really true.
Yeah.
Now we've lost 800,000 of those jobs. So
And the way they measure the jobs, by the way, disabled people who are of working age and are disabled are not included in the unemployment numbers, which obviously deflates the numbers quite a bit. If you included all those folks, it would be a different story.
that's true because they don't even include like if you've been unemployed for a certain time period too, then you also drop off. And they claim that now you're part of a class of people who are not looking for a job, so therefore you're no longer listed as unemployed. It's like, what kind of sense does that make? It's like if I ain't got a job and then I'm unemployed and I stopped looking because I couldn't find one, and maybe I'll go look again. And you won't know it, but I'm already dropped off of your balance sheet of like people who are unemployed. So yeah.
It says the U.S. Labor Department revises 12-month job growth down by a massive 818,000 jobs. In other words, the U.S. economically actually created 818 less jobs than initially reported. Furthermore, the U.S. economy lost 192,000 jobs in the third quarter of 2023. And this is in the backdrop of the convention where they're telling you that Biden administration has ushered in all these jobs, which can't be accounted for. So that's why I'm watching this thing like this is a real mindfuck because they're just literally just saying anything and nobody has to hold them. Like we're the fact checkers that they use for Trump. Do they only work for the Republican Party?
Ricky, you must want Trump to win. You can't be asking all these questions. You want Trump to win. You want Trump to win.
Yeah.
And then they'll put a story like that. It'll be a one-day story, depending on what newspaper. It'll be like, not front page, or these days, like not on the cover. So it's not a story that's going to resonate, as opposed to, like you said, all the things that are being put up in the show of the Democratic National Convention. So it's not going to reach a certain level. People are not going to look at it and go like, oh, wait a minute, I was lied to, or these stats weren't real, or things. Or in their mind, they probably are thinking like, yeah, I didn't know I wasn't getting no jobs. I was wondering where all those people were getting those jobs at or whatever.
Yeah.
But again, just because of how we look at politics and how people don't see the connection between how the power of these people and how money moves, people don't necessarily blame them for when these jobs are not appearing. Not always, at least.
Yeah. I have another story though.
All right, bring it up. Bring it up.
The Air Doctor has it.
And Camus, I sent you a joint too.
Okay.
So after Ricky.
I'm ready.
It's about Crystal Kreisner. I don't know if folks are familiar with that case. Crystal Kreisner was sentenced to 11 years in prison for killing her alleged sex trafficker.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a case that I read about maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Is this the girl in Tennessee? No. That's okay. Ricky, you got to go dispense.
No, I don't. It's okay. He's not even talking to me. He's talking to my mom.
Okay.
Just loud. At the door. He's standing right here doing that. So Crystal Kreisner sentenced to 11 years in prison for killing her alleged sex trafficker. So this is something that I heard about maybe 2 or 3 years ago when she was first convicted. So I was not under the impression that this was an ongoing case because what is her name? Sithonia Brown? Is that, if that's how you?
Yes, that's the chick that a Kardashian got involved with, right?
So these cases were happening simultaneously. And when Sithonia got out, I was under the impression that both of them got the charges dropped because it's similar cases, but they're in 2 different states. Now, where she got charged and found guilty is in the same state that, what's that boy? That white boy that went shooting people during 2020 that got off.
Be more specific. I'm sorry.
During the protesting.
Hauser?
Rittenhouse.
Yes,
Rittenhouse.
it's in the exact same state.
Wisconsin, Kenosha. Yeah.
Right. So where he gets let off for his nonsense, she gets found guilty in that same state. So I was under the impression that this was dropped, especially since at that time there was a lot of conversation around SESTA Foster. And for those who don't know what SESTA Foster is, that's one of those criminalizations of sex trafficking bills, or at least that's how it was depicted. And that was one of the bills that Kamala Harris specifically had advocated for. And what in the years that has since we have known, what we have come to learn is that SESTA Foster has actually put more people in danger, sex workers, and has made space for sex trafficking because now people can't be independent using Backspace and Craigslist because they have been shut down. So now they're forced back out into the streets and things like that, putting people in danger. But I want to link those things because these are the type of policies and laws that Kamala Harris is being accredited for, as we're seeing how it's actually affecting people. So the case with Crystal now, Crystal was sex trafficked, right? She's not, so none of this, she's underage. None of this is by will. This is all exploitation, and she still gets found guilty. And this is similar to, Crystal wouldn't be the first and only. There's a lot of cases with young Black girls who are defending themselves, especially in the state of New York. There's a plethora of women in domestic violence issues that are incarcerated behind defending of themselves. But I think this is a serious case that needs more light on. I don't know the extent of the appeal. I don't know if you want to play this video because I don't know to what extent it has anything to do with the article. But if we want to go through the article, I don't know to what extent the appeal is coming, but I do think that it should be more conversation around the way that this girl has been thrown away and the policies that have created this.
I it has anything to do with the story. Yeah. So I think that's just a separate video in the story.
Mm.
Yeah.
For the record, though, those text over music videos are deeply ableist, by the way, but that's just my own commentary. But go on. But no, Black women and girls do not have a right to self-defense. Period. Like this has been made clear to us. Who was the sister who was sentenced to 20 years? Where was this? Is in the South.
Florida. It was in Florida. I know you
Florida.
talked about Marissa Alexander.
She didn't even shoot the dude that was her abuser. She let off in the air or in the ceiling or something. And simply for discharging a weapon, she was sentenced to 20 years. The context about why she was discharging that weapon, again, she was not aiming it at him. She was letting off to get him the fuck away from her. And she didn't even have a right to do that. It's another extension to me that Black people generally do not have any constitutional rights, no civil rights, but Black women very specifically do not have a right to self-defense and to defend themselves. And I'm so sorry that this happened to this young woman. You said is she a teenager? What's her age?
She was a teen at the time. I think she's been in jail all this time, so she's probably an adult. But when this happened, she was a teen.
Mm-hmm. And what's
it was a white man, I believe, too, that she killed.
Then she's not getting off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because someone mentioned in the chat, and again, I don't know all the circumstances under which when she pulled the trigger, but no application of stand your ground, like you said, no application of self-defense is allowed to say whether or not this is quote unquote justifiable homicide. If someone is being abused and attacked, someone is being held against their will, and they fight back against that attacker, any sort of clear common sense modality would say, hey, this person has a reasonable objective right to defend themselves or to escape from the person who is holding them hostage and or at bay. And the fact that the courts don't apply the laws evenly, again, is another indication, as Kim is saying, that particularly Black women, you're right, are not allowed to defend themselves against abusers, folks who harm them, particularly if they somehow know that person. And so this comes up a lot, obviously, in domestic partnership relationships. It's maybe somewhat different if someone is attacked on the street, but if you're attacked by your so-called partner, the likelihood of your conviction of someone being let off because of that goes down dramatically, or that the person who did it gets convicted of something goes down dramatically. So the partner violence that women face and or suffer means a lot of times that the perpetrator of the original violence will go free, and that the person who defended themselves will somehow be facing charges, as we see here.
What I can't stand is this the fact that women or people who are survivors of abuse, there's this sort of very simplistic, very linear expectation from society that, oh, well, you're being abused, then why didn't you call for help? Why didn't you call the police? What do you mean you weren't allowed to leave? He just took you to McDonald's. Why didn't you call the police in the McDonald's? Why you had a chance? And it's not that simple, right? People are under implied or overt threat of violence, right? People are bound up by their housing situation. Yeah, he might be an abusive piece of shit, but he's a roof. You know what I'm saying? That situation might be better than sleeping in the bus station, for an undetermined amount of time. I mean, people remain in situations for a variety of reasons, but ultimately it is for survival, because that person is their source of housing, source of food, source of income. And it's not always that simple that the first time someone is hit or abused, that they just have the ability to get up and leave. And people who don't leave are often punished, right? Well, you had the chance to go. Why did you have to kill him?
Or blamed. Yeah, blamed. Yeah. And I mean, I think you brought this up before. How many, in terms of hearing stories about people, or women specifically, telling stories about having abusive relationships, and sometimes in our heads it triggers, we're thinking that you should just leave or whatever like that. And it's not, particularly like you said, when there's a dependence on a place to live, when there's an interdependence on the emotional relationship, or wanting things to work out, or that partner being the parent of your child, or whatever So there's all these factors that go into it around, and obviously there's real statistics that back this up around how many times sometimes it takes for someone being abused to finally step away. And I think some good facts show that, after a number of times it finally happens, those folks are looking for support, not blame. But again, I think a lot of us, including people like me, whatever like that, the first thought is after you hear a story, particularly when you hear story after story, is like, you should leave, or why don't you leave? And you have to pull yourself back from even saying something like that a lot of times, because you don't know you don't know the circumstances, don't know the long-term relationship, you don't know what else is hanging over that person's head, and so these cases, again, this is not exactly on point with what this particular case is about, but the abuse that suffered and the ways in which abusers get away with it based on factors that the law even institutes, it allows them to get away with this phenomenal, or like way society is supposedly supposed to operate.
Yeah, I just think it's important to highlight that a lot of these bills that are supposed to be helpful have not been. And in fact, that's never been the design for it. It has just been in terms of regulation and regulating, but it has always backfired. And one of the things that advocates against Cesta Foster had pointed out is that even when we talk about like sex work or sex trafficking, poor Black colonized women, whether African or immigrants, are the first. Like, I don't know if you recall, like the missing girls in DC thing, right? That became an issue of, all these girls are being sex trafficked, when that really wasn't the case. They were runaways, right? But the idea that if you are a lone Black woman in the street, that you are somehow wrapped up in that and then gets criminalized behind that, or you get it taken advantage of in that way because of your material conditions. I just think that these type of policies and bills do not prevent that. And they go on to criminalize the people who in turn become victims of sex work and sex trafficking and things like that. I also think this is not necessarily about a sort of legitimizing or glamorizing of sex work in itself, because it exists. It is here. But the actual overt criminalization of it, and who is being criminalized by it, is really important to note. Right? Who are the actual victims of this? Because when we talk about the victims of sex trafficking, and Crystal is the second or third, but the majority of the major headlines around this who have killed their abusers have been young Black girls. So we can't say it's not like this is not happening in a specific context that affects us, whether or not we agree with sex work, because I don't think that ultimately is the question that's being asked. It's like, what is happening? This is just another addition, another form of criminalization that's impacting our youth predominantly, because there is no questions about why are all these girls running away. And truancy then becomes a way, like when the truancy laws then becomes a way to wrap them up in that sort of sex work criminalization. And it has been a way that they've been doing young Black girls in DC for years. So when we talk about missing girls in the context, I think people do a lot behind the white vans and things like that without really thinking, like, why are young girls running away from home to begin with? One, what is the home life situation that makes them think that outside is better? And then what is the situations that's getting them caught up in this particular way? Because people are not necessarily, I think there's an idea of sex trafficking that people are literally being pulled off the street into these vans, right? And I think that comes out of the fear mongering behind the missing people and the missing children. So there's always this idea that there's a white van, and most of the times it's people that people know.
Yeah,
your family, friends, or they're people who have been in the vicinity. They're not often strangers. So I just think there's a lot of things that we have to really start to discuss that removes us away from the criminalization that puts this young lady in jail for 11 years for something that, she, like, what even is that sentencing?
Well, I think that's all true. Kim, your story, I do not have. So if you want to
I sent it to Kamal Franklin, I thought. Maybe
at gmail.com.
You just put your whole email out there. Yep, I think I did. I guess everybody knew it anyway, huh? Well, Kamal Franklin at Gmail with your complaints and
KAMAUFRANKLIN at gmail.com. Send all your complaints and resend your story. I've gotten your stories in the past. I'm not sure why it didn't pop up this time. I already checked the spam
Because society, because technology really hates me. It really does. It hates me sometimes. And the thing I was going to send you is also a text over video. As I complain about the ableism, right? I send you the exact same thing.
Well, while y'all getting that together,
Nope.
Lord.
You about to do another break?
Yeah, might as well do a break so y'all can look a little more professional.
Wow. Whoa.
What happened?
I mean,
so we'll do that right here and right now, and come back with some more right here
Of
on
the
Remix
remix.
Morning Show. Let's get it.
holding back the year.
Let's do a remix on the remix, y'all.
I'm the most, I'm the most, I'm the most, I'm the most critically acclaimed rap bitch in the game. Coast to coast, stash the gat and host the girl. Dark skin Christian Dior poster girl. Moroccan Tim's bitch and the Gucci loafer girl. Niggas say I'm too pretty to spit rhymes is gritty. Fuck y'all thought, be dancing around in suits like I'm pretty. Show niggas how we run this city. Respect my name. Boogie nigga, stay in your lane. Like a hurricane. Rains on bitches like Sugar Shane. And deal one of y'all rap bitches to mention Fox name. What's beef? Beef is when bitches think it's sweet. See, I'm frontin' in the streets and let my cat leak.
All right. Let me take you to a time and place. Let's take you to 2001 off that Broken Silence album, Foxy Brown. And the name of that song is Oh Yeah, featuring Spragga Benz. Mixed with a little bit of 1985 off the album Picture Book. The artist is Simply Red. And there you go. The name of that song is I'll Keep Holding On. All right, there you go. A remix on the remix for you right here on the Remix Morning Show. Let's go.
Nothing ever could, yeah.
Yeah.
Sheesh. What you think? You nice with this shit or something? You think you nice with this or something?
I'll be trying.
That
You know
was
what I mean?
good. I was just talking about Foxy Brown yesterday, yesterday, and I said, out of that era of rapstresses, who was wearing clothes like Foxy? When you talk about, I'm not even into all the labels and stuff. I'm like, please keep Foxy in Dior because look at how amazing she looks on the inside. Her picture spread of Broken Silence. Oh my God, she was styled beautifully, lit beautifully. I mean, Fox was to me more, even as much as Kim is a fashion icon, you know, crush on you, etc. Foxy was wearing some clothes, okay? Foxy was wearing some clothes out here. Sheesh.
Kim had the best poster, but yeah, Foxy definitely was wearing
Foxy had the body. Sheesh. Sheesh.
Did she? She had the ill tatas. I don't know about the rest.
I mean, that's a great beginning. Let's start with the tatas.
That came out. Il Nana came out in '96 too, though, right?
Yes, it did.
Yes,
Yes,
it
it did. We will be getting into that at 11 o'clock.
And
Quick
the
plug.
Firm.
Yes. Was the Firm 96? I believe it
Or
was.
was that
Yes, it
95?
was.
That might have been '96.
I don't
I
remember.
think it might have been 96 or 97. Yeah.
On tap, baby.
Yes.
Phone tap. Yes.
I am a Foxy Brown stan. Thank
Of
you.
course you are.
Oh,
Trini,
really?
I
Trini
go up to
girl.
Inga and all the Trinis.
Inga.
Is that a typical Trini named Inga?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Inga is not. No, I don't know. I don't know
It
too
is.
many Ingas. It's not like Trevor.
I know another Inga from the Caribbean. So that
Yeah,
means
it's a popular Caribbean name.
Well, where's
but
Foxy today? What is anybody know? Like anybody got like what's she up to?
She
She
did
toured
a
with
song.
Nicki.
She did what? Oh, okay.
She
well,
on tour with Nicki.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she got a song with Nick. So Nicki holds her down for the most part. Like she keeps her around and all that.
Oh,
But she's not really doing much.
She was on Nas album, I believe, King Disease.
Nice.
So she did a song on that one. And she lost her hearing.
yeah, I
Yes.
remember that.
Yeah. So,
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Oh
Big up
wow.
But she
Foxy
can she
Brown.
still rap or?
Not on beat, like
Yeah, okay.
yeah. Listen to before you go there. Listen to the song, and you'll be like,
What
yeah.
you talking about? What?
I mean, if it's,
It's not.
accurate,
It's
Not
I mean,
you,
if
I
your
think- I
ear,
think- I
if you
think
can't hear right,
Erica
you're not
had
gonna,
had a reaction.
Oh,
yeah, yeah. I know it's your girl and everything, but she's a little offbeat now. It's understandable.
Oh, she blends in with the other new age rappers. These niggas. It's the
all
most
of their
ridiculous thing
abilities.
I've ever heard. I said, I'm like, this is your hot new. I said, these people rap, they're not on the beat. How is this rap music? I'm confused.
Yeah. So big up the Fox Boogie. All right, with that said, and Simply Red, man, that song right
I
there.
know they had they had the remake. If you don't know me by now, and this one, holding back the tears.
Holding back. I
Were
keep
they
holding on.
Americans? Were they British? I'm guessing
There's
British.
Brits.
Yep,
British or Scottish or something.
Really?
yeah.
Might have been.
Because then you can tell by the way the white man is actually singing. As
Yeah.
British, the whites over here don't sing that.
I didn't even
way.
know it was a white man. So there we go.
Oh
look
yeah,
at
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But it was a brother.
Learn
They
something
busted
new on the
out.
Remix Morning Show every time. All right, catch y'all later.
Thanks, Ear Doctor. Thank you, remixers. It's the Remix Morning Show, y'all. The Thursday edition. Kamal Franklin, Erica Keynes, aka Ricky Ryan, Kim Brown, and you. So join us as you already have, and everyone that's watching now, everyone that will be watching later. Engage with the content. Give us some thumbs up. Subscribe. Go and push buttons around these YouTube streets. We have a Remix Morning Show YouTube channel. I believe there is a I Mix What I Like YouTube channel. And of course, the mothership right here, Black Liberation Media, continue to support, even though YouTube, just turned off the spigot. And so fuck them. So we're gonna keep doing what we do over here, 40,000 strong, and we appreciate you guys rocking with us each and every day.
That's right. And we are a few subscribers away from 41,000 to let folks know. So we're about to hit that 41,000.
Nice.
So keep subscribing to the Mother Channel, because that is where we built this audience at, and that is where we're going to continue to put almost all our videos, except for what goes on Patreon, of course, because that's the ones where we want you to go over. And again, we have over 500 paid Patreons. So that is fantastic. We appreciate all the support. Could be more.
I'm jelly. Look at you, greedy. I'm jealous. I have, I think, 120 or so patrons. So 500, and
500.
you crying.
You can
Could
go
be
down
more.
by you can move by yourself, or you can move with a unit. And this is the
Move
unit.
as
This is
a
the
team.
flavor
Never
unit.
move alone.
You know what I'm saying?
Welcome to the
Right,
terror
right.
zone.
That was so unnecessary. But
I
continue.
mean, no, I'm just saying that's why we were able to reach it, because of this collaboration of all of us coming together instead of being on your own. That's all. And real quick, I just wanted to give a big up, because I want to see LeBron and Bronny play, but I can't wait to see this collaboration right here. Most Def and his daughter. And she's an artist. You could tell they look so much alike. So yeah, I can't wait to hear the song they come up with. So big up to Most Def.
Is she a singer, a rapper?
Yeah.
or-
Both. Yeah.
Oh, what is her rap name?
I don't know.
You
don't know either.
This I believe it begins with an L.
Most daughter. Her name is
Most daughter.
Most daughter
yeah.
MC.
Yeah, that's
Right.
All right.
She's been underground for a while. This is the first time she's actually saying it, and I think that's because people are like, you know who you look like, you know. Who you look like? So she's like, yeah, that's my dad. That's my dad.
It's hard to escape. Well, at least she's got some in, so hopefully she'll get a good career. Her name is Layla.
Mm.
Okay.
I see most beat the deadbeat dad charges though. See,
No,
He
you
did
just
beat
gotta
those?
wait for them to grow up. You know what I'm saying? Once they
Yeah, I was.
She said he was a part of her life. He was there all the time.
well, that's good. I hope his kids in Toronto can say the same thing.
He was traveling. Yeah, I think he was traveling to a lot of doors. He couldn't be everywhere all the time, because he was traveling to a lot of
We don't know
doorsteps.
the truth.
So he had to make some stops.
Amen.
I think I told you at that time when he performed at Black August, and he did an extra long set. We were like, "Woo, this is fantastic!" But when is he going to get off? He's like, I was like, this show won't end. And then the rumor was like a baby mama was in the audience, and he was looking not to be confronted by
I
that
heard that
energy.
rumor.
Yeah, so I was
I
like,
heard that
oh
rumor.
shit. So yeah, that was always a good Most story.
Him and Dougie
Yeah.
Fresh.
Dougie
Brooklyn
Fresh.
talks. Let me just tell you, the baby mothers in Brooklyn, they talk.
Not Dougie. Don't tell me.
Duh.
Hollywood. No, don't tell me.
He had to run out of money though. He couldn't-
Allegedly, that's what the streets say. That's what.
That's what the streets. Dougie ran out of money though.
I don't think so. I think Dougie, he
Oh, for
gigs
that?
pretty regularly. Like Dougie Fresh, he gigs
still.
regularly.
Interesting.
He was
Oh,
just in Ghost, acting.
Doing what? Acting or doing sound effects?
Acting.
Oh.
The disrespect come out. Sorry.
I don't know. I don't know what Dougie Fresh his career. What's going on with Dougie Fresh's career? I
He
don't
hit him
know.
in the face.
See, he did that. He had to do something like that.
Shut up. Dougie Fresh is a rap legend out here. I will not tolerate Dougie Fresh.
He is a
slander.
legend. He is a legend.
And he still looks amazing,
Thank
by the
you.
way. You see Dougie Fresh in person, he still looks like it's 89 out here for real. So
Oh damn no.
yeah,
Okay.
he looks fantastic. So anywho, let us move
Oh,
along.
the year. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, baby. I meant to.
He still look 89 out here. I'm like, oh wait.
No, I'm sorry. Yes, the 1989. Let me be specific. Dougie Fresh still looking like it's 1989 out here. And I think Dougie had like he had secured maybe his publisher. Maybe I'm saying this wrong, but like for the songs like Keep On Rising to the Top and The Show, for some reason something tells me that Dougie had did something to secure his publishing back when. So maybe his situation is a little different than everybody else that got juked from the industry. Regardless. Anyway, did the email come through?
Never. No, still nothing from you. I sent you an email to say, hey, send it to this email.
Okay.
So while you look for that, I do have one
I
quick
think you just
story.
refreshed your email.
As you pull up your quick story, I just want to do a quick plug. Next week on the 27th, Liberation Through Reading turns 7. And
Wow.
on the 31st, Hood Communist turns 5.
Whoa.
5
Go
years
Hood
of
Communist.
Communist. So we plan on doing a special for you all alive on the 31st. And then we have some other things coming up in recognition of the 5 years. So stay tuned for that.
Okay. So I wanted to dive a little bit back into the politician box. You see a lot of yarmulkes up here. This was a video that was recently posted of your favorite first attempt to be Obama, non-Obama, Cory Booker, actually having a meeting. And part of the meeting, a question was asked about getting more Black folks to be supportive of Israel. And Cory lays out, and I hope the sound is good on this, and Cory starts to lay out how to accomplish that task.
As Jews are, I think, always going to be some of the first to sign up to address the suffering of others.
Can we turn it up?
Black community, but when it comes to justice for Israel and understanding any suffering within context, we need to be more vigilant than we're being right now. And so within the Black community, and I say this all the time, and you ask specifically about Black leadership. First of all, this excites me like never before, because Obama is a raindrop compared to the storm that's coming of young Black leaders around this country who have phenomenally qualified, phenomenally experienced. You're going to see more Black governors, you're going to see more Black senators. You're going to see critical that you continue to find, not them when they're Congress people, you find those Black leaders when they're 22-year-olds at Oxford, when they're 24-year-olds as a city council president, and you go to them then and say, come to Israel, let us start showing you what this is about. That's what a key mission of AIPAC that must continue, which is finding future leaders, young leaders in America. I'm at the aspect.
So you got Cory Booker basically at a meeting telling them how to recruit young Black, basically intellectuals or pre-politicians or college students, and how to get them to be supporters of Israel early on. And how do you hit them? How do you basically get them that information early on? And again, that's a Cory Booker role, and it's Cory Booker even to this day still does all of that kind of work, propping up Israel, telling the lies and or the narrative of how Israel came to be, and the oppression that somehow the Europeans suffered somehow at the hand of Palestinians when they moved to their land. So that kind of narrative is the narrative that they push. and him giving instructions on how to get. And the one thing he was right about, I mean, is he was right. Like when that video was made, and he said Obama was just sort of the beginning point. Now there are a couple of more, not a lot, but more black senators, more black politicians with higher aspirations, let's say, that if grabbed early will continue to fill the purpose of basically touting Israel as some oppressed nation that needs to be lifted up in our community.
I think this is the partial of the programming with KIPP in Baltimore City under the Elijah Cummings summer program that sends students from Baltimore City High School to Tel Aviv every summer. So it's a program that starts through KIPP, and they track these kids all the way up until high school. And those are the kids that get picked to go, and they come back completely indoctrinated. They come back in defense of Israel. And then also during those trips, they make it a point to align the histories, right? So that Blacks and Jews see themselves as a similar history as it pertains to an Israel. So I think that, I mean, Cory Booker, last night, they had interviewed him because I think he did speak, or he was set to speak last night. I can't remember because I didn't watch the entirety of it. But one of the things that they had said to him, because this was after Tim Walz spoke, and, you know, they're bigging up Tim Walz being a football coach and all these other things. And what's her name? Stephanie something. I can't remember on MSNBC. I can't remember her last name. She usually does like the economics reporting and things like that. But she said to Cory Booker, you have been the poster child in the Democratic Party for heteronormativity. And you have...
Whoa. It must be two Cory Bookers.
Right. She said, you have carried this flag with you in your years as a politician, as a senator, of really highlighting all of these things. So what does it mean to you to now see a Tim Walz come in, who people would depict as, you know, a little softer, because, you know, the bravado that the Republican Party is coming with, Tim Walz doesn't have that. So they're asking Cori Bush, hey, you seem very soft. What is your advice for this man? I mean, that's basically what the question was. Like, you've changed the way we understood heteronormativity, and that's been what you champion behind. So what would your advice be? Because they also made a point to say, no one would have known you played football, Cory, for Stanford in college. And I had no idea you played football.
I didn't know he played football. I'm stuck on heteronormative. I didn't. Has Cory Booker ever told us he was hetero? Where's the evidence?
I think the things that they're trying to do with the girlfriends and the Rosario Dawsons and things like that, I think they're trying to, because he's not married. So I think it's just because he doesn't have a partner. It's all up in the air for speculation.
You know who else is in the Senate and not unmarried with no partner? Lindsey Graham. I'm just saying, but that's okay.
Well, listen, in South Carolina, lots of thoughts.
Cory Booker confirmed bachelor out here. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying, but that's an odd question to ask him of all people. Like, that's kind of fucked up, to be honest. You put that man on the spot. Assuming.
But they're trying to make it like, that he represents a particular type of Democrat, or a new age kind of Democrat. But this is not dissimilar from what Hakeem Jeffries has done over the years. Like, this is the connection with AIPAC that I think is really what people have been trying to highlight, especially in that Daruba conversation with Keith Ellison, I think, in Minnesota. Like, one of the things that he said is, like, Democrats have always had to bend the knee to AIPAC to even be considered. So these kind of this idea that this is something that they're trying to come together with AIPAC and have these discussions. They've always come together with AIPAC and has these discussions of how do we rein these people in. And so much so that we just seen a leaked video of Israelis talking about the TikTok influences and how that's impacting that particular relationship that they spent years cultivating. Because when the lady who beat out Nina Turner, she came in as a Zionist on a Zionist ticket.
Brown.
Right. Is it Chantel? Chantel
yes.
Brown?
Something like that, yes.
And Reverend Warnock and what's his name? Osna? Who, I don't know what his name is because he hasn't done shit. He hasn't done. I haven't seen him since they put him in office, honestly. And I don't want to be like the Jew. So Reverend Warnock and the other one were backed by the Democratic majority of Israel, which is supposed to be the softer, the lesser known AIPAC, right? So they do the exact same thing as AIPAC. They just are not as well known. So as AIPAC is seen on the conservative side, Democratic majority of Israel is more progressive leaning. But again, all of this influences all of these politicians and how they approach. Like Elijah Cummings is black, Hakeem Jeffries is black, Cory Booker is black, and these are 3 different states I've already named, right? So this has been a thing that has been happening. So to see these leaked videos, this has always been the idea, is to separate the Black and Palestinian cause, because that has an alignment there, especially when we consider ourselves as an eternal colony and things like that. They don't want that perceived alignment. And that goes back as far as to the civil rights movement, the split, right? That split, when they started to recognize Palestinians, happened primarily because they have always been able to align the Jewish struggle and the Black struggle. But then when you take into account the Zionism, and it's like, wait a minute, this is a colonial struggle. These are not the same kind of struggles. I think they've always been trying to fight their way back into the Black community.
And have done so, like you said, by putting out literally millions of dollars to defeat anybody and or any candidate that even hints of, and again, not being pro-Palestinian, but hints of questioning Israel. The last political thing that Andy Young did was when he talked to the PLO, and he had to resign from his UN ambassadorship because he merely had a conversation with them at the time. So that even, so this, like you said, this dates back decade upon decade upon decade. And then we have, her name is escaping me, in Atlanta, when she was the representative in Atlanta, and she was outspoken, Cynthia McKinney, right? Cynthia McKinney was basically AIPAC. She was the House of Representative leader, had militant politics, talked straight talk about what Israel was in terms of its colonial relationship to the rest of the world and to oppressed people. And she got AIPAC'd. They put in millions of dollars for milquetoast Black candidate in the primary to defeat her. And then hence we can come up to now, again, with the Cori Bushes and the John Bowmans, not claiming again that these folks are anything close to revolutionary. But the mere fact that they even adopted a narrative that said Israel had to have a ceasefire was enough for them to get primaried, again, with the consent and permission of the Democratic majority and or leadership. Like, that could not happen without their permission and or leadership. No Democrat came out and said, Kamala Harris did not come out to St. Louis and say, Cori, I'm going to stop with you because I think this is crazy that a safe Democratic seat is being primaried because of your one view on this or your one view on that. That wasn't the reaction of the Democrats. And that's why, again, AOC got her shit together and was like, I'm not going to be like them. I'm not going to be like them, right? So she quickly moved over to the right and is now reaping the benefits of primetime slots, moving up in the party apparatus. So all of this stuff is again, and it's not just so much that they're even bending a knee to AIPAC, is that AIPAC is part and parcel of the Democratic leadership. They are one and the same, basically. They are singing the same tune. So when people say AIPAC is in control of the Democratic Party, they're not in control of the Democratic Party. They are the Democratic Party. They are part of the leadership of the Democratic Party. And that is a consensus that they both have in terms of leadership in AIPAC. And there's no separating them. And anybody who comes up to challenge them has to understand that that is a challenge that they are going to have to face from their leadership, which is going to be like, your leadership is going to try to knock you out the box. And so, and unlike the right wing, which has a whole constituency of people ready to battle, those folks have not connected this particular issue and other issues to a liberation struggle, which causes other folks, even people like me, even to come out and be sympathetic for them when they do get challenged. I'm more like, like you get what you get, right? So,
do you think there has been any sort of shift in the wider Black consciousness since October 7th, since people, regular folk, not people like y'all who've been following the issue of, the Israeli occupation of Palestine for a long time and who are deeply apprised of it. But obviously, this is America. Most people do not know the ins and the outs and the what have yous. But amongst Black folks, I feel like there has been a little bit of a crack in people's awareness about what's going on to the Palestinians, even, in addition to the genocide, but a sort of indignation about the amount of money that's being spent or sent over to Israel, as opposed to, investment in infrastructure or communities here or whatever. Do you think Black folks, Black people living in this country are starting to have either both an awakening and even a shift of thinking about the way that America is engaging, or the way that America props up and supports Israel?
So,
I think so. Oh, go ahead. You took a while. Go ahead.
yeah, well, because I don't think it's a straight answer, primarily because it depends on who you're engaging. I do think that since October 7th, there has been an influx of ways that people can engage what's been happening in Palestine so that they do know more. But I also think that people are just overtly propagandized. Like, if you watch MSNBC all day long, they're not showing you the beheaded babies. They're not showing you what you see on social media, right? So there's a component of what you can see on social media that does shift how you see or understand a thing. But they're not naming how much millions of dollars or billions of dollars that they just signed over to Israel. They're just blatantly saying aid. Right. So they're not getting into the specifics what you would find on social media. So I do think that there's a dichotomy there that exists, where there are people who have become more aware. And I don't necessarily think it's generational. I just think it's the access to the awareness, because if this is what you watch all day, then it's not going to shift. And I do also think that there was a point under Biden, when Biden was running, that it did become a question of, like, what is exactly going on? We're going in the grocery stores. We're seeing these prices raised. We're seeing the gas prices raised. You're still back in Israel. What are these questions? But I think to the point of the DNC that we've seen this week, it has really sort of tamed a lot of that, the questioning around what exactly is this administration doing and why, which I think is the purpose of the DNC. So I do think there is an awakening, but I do think it's a lot slower than people would like to think is actually happening. I think there's a lot of wins being claimed that don't actually really exist right now.
Yeah, I don't dispute that analysis at all. I probably think there is a little bit more of a generational shift in that the people who are seeing social media are, relatively speaking, younger than the people who are getting their news from MSNBC or CNN. But I agree. I mean, I think there are some stats, though, that show younger people are more apt to call for a ceasefire or have more sympathy or empatheticness for the Palestinian cause. So I think there's a little bit there. But again, I think that there's not this grand shift that we would all like, because I think that's going to take a lot of deep dive community organizing to get people to understand and even connect the issues. Again, because similarly, we've been so propagandized to believe and see otherwise that there's going to be a lot of need for political education or in some kind of mass way to get more people. But I do think there are, I think because of the politicalization or the ways in which people have come out over the last 10, 15 years around the police brutality issue. And one of the good things is that a lot of that has been tied to larger issues of oppression and liberation and capitalism. And so I do think there's some openings there, but just not as fast as we would like or whatever. And Kim, I do have your story too, if you wanted to do this last story and end on it.
Yes, please. Thank you. It may have some text over pictures and shit, so you may have to read aloud, which are James Earl Jones type narration come out.
Definitely. All James, or all Earl, all Jones.
All
so this
Darth,
is Columbia Band.
All Darth, all Vader.
This is Columbia Band's exports to Israel.
Yes.
Bam. Here we go.
nos está mostrando un
President
genocidio
of Colombia has
delante de
signed
nuestros ojos.
a decree banning
No
coal
es la
exports to
vieja
Israel.
dinámica del conflicto
The
palestina-israelí
decree confirms
lo
that
que hoy
the
se
ban is the
muestra,
result of
sino
Israeli
además,
aggression in the
por eso
Gaza Strip,
Alemania apoya
where the official death
Las
toll
bombas de
is
Gaza no
3,000.
las disparan unos simples soldados
Early in May,
israelíes.
Gustavo also talked about
Es un
severing
capital enorme,
diplomatic
Turn the sound off.
centralizado,
the president
coordinado.
described the president of Israel as a genocide.
Them big words.
And they're putting up social media that's confirming that Colombia has officially broke ties with Israel.
So can I tell you, when I shout out to Infinite Content. Infinite Content sent me that story, and I'd heard it a couple days before, but I was confused because when I went to search for it on YouTube, like I said, President of Colombia bans coal shipments to Israel. Everything from Columbia University, everything. I said, oh, look at the suppression of the story. Look at how the story is being suppressed. What's the Chinese outlet? Xinhua News, they covered it, and whatever outlet that was covered it. Radio silence from American mainstream media. Not that that surprises me at all. It's just noteworthy. Y'all's thoughts. To me, this sounds like a big deal because Israel relies heavily on its power from coal-fired plants, from my understanding, and Colombia is one of the biggest, if not its biggest, supplier of coal. Y'all's thoughts, internationalists, my Pan-African hoes out here. What we got?
Well, I'm not a fan of Petros, so we can start there. I think that I don't like any of these social democrats that are coming out of Latin America, South America specifically, because at the same time that he can do this, he's also suggested maybe sending Colombia troops to Israel as well. And then he's also, alongside Lula in Brazil, calling for a new round of elections in Venezuela.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's also letting the U.S. military build bases in Colombia. So he's doing a lot. And there's a lot of grandstanding around rhetorical stuff. So I don't do Petros. I don't do Lula. I don't like, I'm not a fan.
There's no there there. Like there's no there there. Like, is this in the scale of things? You don't think? So I hear what you're saying.
What I think is just that I think these are just more because Lula has done this too, made these strong acclamations against Israel, and then turned around and done a bunch of fuck shit to other nations in the surrounding area. So I think at this point in time, it is like anybody. I think it's strategically in folks' best interests to not align themselves with Israel when you see the rest of the third world is not. But I don't necessarily think that means anything about Petros as an individual or a politician because he's not it. But I do think it's significant, though. The coal, I do think it's significant.
Yeah, I think it could be significant too. And this is, I'm on this particular issue, which can be separated from other issues. I do think that Israel, because of what's happening, is going to have to rely more and more and more on direct Western support, i.e. U.S. support, even more than it's ever had. And it's going to be a fight in the so-called third world or the global South that some leaders will be pulling away from Israel, and the United States and Europe will try to do what it can to shore up those positionings of those leaders to continue having dealings with Israel. And so I think it's significant if it becomes or starts to become more of that watershed moment. Because remember, you still have these other Jordan, again, the countries right next to Israel, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, which are offering other types of trade with Israel and could do a lot to have a blockade, let's say, some kind of real blockade against Israel that causes them economic pain and hardship by breaking off not just diplomatic relations, but doing what Colombia seems to be doing in this case, but actually stopping trade from happening. Turkey, I think, has talked about it. I'm not sure if they really went forward at this stage and stopped some of the economic trading with Israel. But those are the pressure points that now have to be brought out and done in order to get some results to continue to isolate Israel, because again, the West is not going to isolate them. And the West can fill their coffers with money and certain kinds of resources. And that money is meant to go out and buy the other things that they need from these other nation states or whatever like that. So within the context of the Israel thing, I think it is a big deal. But I think it only becomes a watershed moment when other nation states, particularly in the global South or the third world, non-Western aligned countries, begin to also cut off economic relationships with Israel. And a lot of those nation states have not done that. They've done what Erica said. People have given pronouncements, and even again, countries in the Middle East have given certain pronouncements about how terrible the murdering and suffering of Palestinians are, but they have not cut relationships, i.e. economic relationships with Israel. And that's the big thing. So Palestinian lives are still expendable, even to these nation states which proclaim either a religious connection to Palestinians, an ethnic connection to Palestinians, but it has not been enough for them to cut off economic relationships that helps Palestine. No one's even asking them, they could be part of the axis of resistance, but they haven't even gone as far as to, again, cut off economic ties, which would help in terms of stopping this genocide from happening. And those are the real things that they could do that could force a quote unquote ceasefire and more.
Say word.
Word.
Thank you. I knew you, Doctor.
That's a up north thing. Say word. Hey, we almost at the end of the show. It's almost time to go. So we give our announcements of what's coming up and stuff like that. I did want to give a big shout out because I didn't understand this word that somebody called me in the comments yesterday.
Oh boy.
So please help me out. What's this dude? Jamandi? Okay.
Gamandi. What's up, Dave? Yeah.
He's a crab. Y'all need to get his. He's talking about me. Y'all need to get his ableism and eugenist and quackery in check. What is a eugenist? What does that even mean?
Eugenicism is when they want the people who are, I guess, not able-bodied, so-called able-bodied or quote normal or whatever. They're trying to wean them out of existence. That's not the technical definition, but.
Oh my goodness!
And it's a sense of relying on false science to sort of like, and I think they probably were talking about your idea that soursop,
No. They have been accusing your doctor of him himself spreading COVID. So this has been a thing for a while. Yeah, I mean they've been doing that for a while. I think there actually probably needs to be an actual serious discussion, like basic superstructure kind of discussion about COVID, because the individual responsibility thing that people are putting on and then calling people ableist for it is actually counterproductive and is not having anybody rushing to put on a mask. So I do think that there is a better way and a more substantial way to have these conversations where we're not beating people up in the head for possibly not having best practices. But I want to say, as someone who was in Nicaragua wearing my mask every goddamn day, everywhere that I went, and I still got freaking COVID, that we might have to mitigate just saying, wear your mask, because it actually takes a full spectrum of things, right? And I'm always masked up. I'm always make sure that we have masks and tests available, but that is not primarily the fundamental issue of why there's a surge. The surge is not occurring because people are not wearing masks. The surge is occurring because this government has left us stranded and there's no way to mitigate. And there's also no precautions. Like there's no availability for testing. There's no availability for even access to masks or access to what's it? Paxlovid. That's $1,000. Who can afford that? So I think that there's better ways to advocate, like pushing for Medicare for all and getting that back on the administration's table, because that's a dead issue right now for people, as opposed to singling people out.
And I just want
to say, I'm here for the calling out of ableism, by the way. Like, I think it needs to be called out more and with more frequency, but make it a teachable moment. You feel me? Like, let's be specific about what was perceived as being ableist or whatever. And I agree. Let's make it let's make people aware of it, and then try to make it a teachable movement and go on.
Oh, and I just want to say too, there were 12 different ideas brought up as to why you were called names. So no one could pinpoint which exact thing that you said that made the. So even in the chat, they were like, no, it wasn't that. It was this. It was this. It was this.
Okay.
So just to let you know that there was 14 or 15 things that you said on yesterday's show. That could have prompted. Erica's probably closest to the truth, but just to let you know, there were like several things that could have prompted.
Well, Jamandi, tell your mom to mask up. I'll be over there later.
No threatening. No threatening.
We are too old for your mama and for your mom.
No mama.
Tell the mask up. I'll be over later. What?
We don't.
Oh my God.
No, doctor. That's so Trump. That's Trumpian right there.
Trumpian. That is Trumpian of you.
That's Jersey. That's Jersey. And Trenton, what up? What up?
Trenton Trumpian of you.
Anyway, what we got coming up this weekend, y'all?
Saturday, August 24th from 1 to 4 p.m. If you in Atlanta, be in Little 5 Points, 1083 Austin Avenue. We're having our first ever Curb Fest for political prisoners, where we will be rapping and talking to the people. All the Black organizations that you are a part of or should be a part of will be there. The Malcolm X Grassroots Movement, BAP Atlanta, as I already said, that Community Movement Builders, the Jericho Movement. So come out come out and support. Again, 1083 Austin Ave between 1 and 4 p.m. Yours truly will probably be there. So we can chop it up and
probably.
talk.
Nigga, what?
I got things to do. I got things I'm doing. But we will have representation there. We definitely will have people there. I'm just saying yours truly.
Be selective.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's wrap it up, y'all. We got to get out of here. Got another show to do.
You got anything?
I went through my list. We have our town hall. DC has a town hall on Saturday. Tomorrow, come check us out in Nomu Nomu for the last summer school class on HBCUs and imperialism, and then a big week for Hood Communists and Liberation Through Reading. Donate to Liberation Through Reading, please. Continue to support. Yes, you did, Kamal. That's why I'm still here. Thank you.
Oh,
nice.
Well, join me in the ear doctor in a cute little hour, because we're doing classical breakdown 1996.
Yep.
Big year, big tunes.
All right, and that's it. And I might be here Sunday, so come on through. We got a lot of shows and stuff y'all need to check out. You can keep it right here on Black Liberation Media.
Hey guys, real quick, my channel surpassed 1 million views. I want to thank you know what I'm saying? Big up Black Liberation Media. You know what I'm saying? Never would have done it without you, baby. And YouTube is over here hating. We only 4 subscribers short of 5,900. So if you haven't already pressed the button on Burn It Down with Kim Brown, go over there and please do that. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Never could have made it without you.
Ooh, you better sing.
I would have lost it all. A little gospel. Don't get me started. All right. Well, anyway,
you could have a church. Camus, Pastor Troy out here.
You can do the choir.
Instead of the band, we have a gospel DJ.
There it is.
That is the hotness.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And now I see.
Root work is on right now. It started at 10.
Gotta go. Okay.
Gotta go. Bye. All right, we out here. Remix Motor Show. Bye.